Welcome back to another episode of Ownership and Greatness. I'm your boy, the Hope Dealer, the Doubt Killer, OG Joe. And today we're going to be talking about how to activate your dreams and aspirations. Hope you guys are ready, because I'm ready, as we dive into the different topics on how we can be able to activate our dreams and ambitions. Let's tag along and see how it goes. I know sometimes we ask ourselves, how can we activate our vision? How can I even know what my purpose in life is? I always had the same questions. Like, that's one of those things that are always troubling you at the back of your mind, especially when you're trying to find out where you belong, when you're trying to find out what's the reason for you to be on this, especially when you're trying to learn more about yourself, finding yourself, trying to find your niche in this life. And for me, I've been blessed to have people around me who are always challenging me to be the best version of myself, who are always pushing me to be great. I'm a student of the world. I always learn from every single person. Like, if I meet with you and we sit down and chop it up, I always take as much gem as I can, and I'll always try to also impact your life in one or another. And that's why we're here, to break down some pointers, to impact each other, to uplift each other. As you all know, this podcast is for all of us dreamers, creators, entrepreneurs, anyone that's out there that's trying to make a living out of their craft. This is for all of us, to encourage ourselves, to remind ourselves that we are going to make it in this journey. All right, so let's dive into some of the topics that we're going to be highlighting today. The first question I always tell people to do is ask themselves, what do I love? Like, really, like, what do I really love to do? What am I passionate about? Because every single one of us has something in us. Like, we have a gift that's unique from any other person. And the minute you realize what you're good at and you're able to tap into it, then you'll be able to activate your dream, activate your vision. For me, I used to love sketching and drawing from a younger age. Like, I remember when I was in middle school, my friends would like give me marker pens and give me their lockers to design like logos and animation characters for them. They would ask me to draw diagrams and pictures for them. So I knew I had the creative source in me, and as I went on with life, I found myself like. So as I went on with life, I ended up. So as I went on, so as life went on, I ended up venturing into the graphic design sector. And that's what I'm doing right now. Like, I'm passionate about designing, creating concept from scratch, being able to create an idea from someone's thoughts and implementing that and being able to see the final product. For me, that gives me a fulfillment in my heart. So once you ask yourself, what do I love or what am I good at? And actually, another best way of doing it is ask your close friend, people who are associated with you, like people who are really close to you, because they're always watching you. And sometimes they actually tell you, you might be a comedian, and anytime you're around people, they're always laughing. You make their day. And your friends are always like, yo, bro, you be cracking me up. Like, you need to do a stand-up show or something. And sometimes you just ignore it because you're like, nah, I don't think I'm good. But you have to tap into that. If you actually make people feel good, if you're always making people's day, then most definitely that's something you should look into. And also think about it, think of it as an idea, not only to make money, but the way I look at it is as a solution. Like when you're trying to analyze and find your purpose, always ask yourself, what problem do I want to solve in this life? Like what's out there? Look around you, look around your community, look around the people that you mingle with or your job and see like what do people really need. And once you're able to tap into that, you'll be able to find your purpose. I had someone actually give an insightful idea the other day, which actually made a lot of sense. He was like, yo, if you want to really know your talent or what your purpose is, you need to seclude yourself, like go on a fast, like a 7 day, 6 day fast. And yeah, that was Derek Grace. He was speaking about it, and that was so inspiring because that actually made sense. Because sometimes for us to be able to know who we really are, for us to be able to tap into our gifts and our aspirations, we need to disconnect ourselves from the matrix. Like we need to unplug from the matrix and be able to spend time with ourselves to just listen to what the universe is telling us, listen to what God is trying to speak to us in regards to the questions that we have about what our purpose is. Just find a spot, seclude yourself, grab a notebook or a journal, and just try and put down some of the pointers of what you think you're good at, and then you can be able to just narrow down to like the most I would say outstanding point of all the ones that you have written down. And then once you start there, you should be able to have like a rough idea of where you're headed or what actually works for you. Another way to also look at it is always ask yourself, what's the one thing that you can do? Like, what's the one thing that you are willing to sacrifice your time to do without even getting paid? Because for me, I can sit down and come up with concept. Like when I'm working on an artwork or an idea that I have in my mind, sometimes I spend time like designing. I would sit down for almost 12 hours, 18 hours, like just going hard because whenever I'm tweaking the design, every time I change here and there, I'm still like refining it. I get an idea. I'm like, yo, let me change this color. Let me change this font. Let me sketch a bit and add some flavor to it. So I'm always diving deep into it. Like when I'm designing, I be in the moment. Like, and that's for me is what gives me a fulfillment. So every one of us, like we have people who like working out, like when they're in the gym, like when they're training people, when they're doing their sets at the gym together with their partners and friends, like they really like it. So you might actually create something out of it. We have people who are like in the culinary sector, like when they in the kitchen, they be whipping up some crazy meals, they be cooking up some crazy unique dishes. So if that's your sector, try out different recipe, try out different methods and see how you can play around with the taste buds, and maybe that's where your gift is. So it all depends with who you are and what you're actually interested in. And once you figure it out, trust me, you'll be set. Like it's not something that you're gonna be able to do it within 1 day or 2 days. But I always say it's good to be able to discover it early. For me, I always try to uh, spend time with my kids, trying to see what they are interested in, and I'm always working towards helping them tap into what is really gonna be able to help them out, like what is really gonna bring out the creativity in them, bring out their personality. So that's something I would advocate for. And I remember one day for me, the one thing that actually made me think about it, because I was blessed enough to have someone ask me this question when I was in middle school. Like one of my colleagues came one day and was like, yo OG Joe, like what's your talent? Like, what's your gift? And I was like, bro, why did you even ask me that? And back then the only thing that was in my mind was like, yo, I like playing, I like watching like basketball, being on the court, playing soccer. Like, I had all these thoughts, but he was like, no, like, what is your talent? What's the one thing that you're good at? And I had to sit down and ask myself. And from that, I was able to get an understanding of like what he really meant. Like, I was able to question myself. I was able to search within myself. And from it, that's how I was able to start getting like a clear picture of what I'm actually uh, gifted with, like what my aspiration and dreams are. And it's been a journey. It's been a journey. So I believe we all have something in us. Like, we are all unique human beings. Like, trust me, there's no one there, and there's no one out there that actually looks like you. Like, there's no one out there that actually has a similar, I would say, flavor like yours. So always think of yourself as a one of one. Always think of yourself as a unique person. And so you have something in you that the world needs that's unique. I remember I once read this saying that says it's not our similarities but our uniqueness that makes us. No, it's not our similarities but our differences that make us all unique. So the sauce that makes the sweetest broth or the sweetest meal is uh, when you create a recipe with different flavors and different spices. Once you do that and you cook that gumbo, the taste, the flavor, the aroma always comes out when you mix different variations of spices and flavors. And I believe we all have that. That's why the world is an amazing place, because we live around, or we mingle, or we connect with people from all over the world that have been raised different from us, that have had, I would say, like a different past from what we have. But when we share stories in one or another, we realize we are connected, and we inspire and complement each other to become better in everything that we do. So yeah, so let's continue diving in. The only thing I feel like sometimes that kind of like holds us back from discovering our purpose and vision is we've grown up in a society where all we want to do is be copycats. Like, when you see someone doing something, we want to do what they're doing. Like, we no longer want to be trailblazers. We no longer want to set out into the world to discover what's really going on. We are no longer curious. And I think it all comes with the age, because when we were young, we would try out anything. Like, we were like, yeah, oh, there's a tree, let's go climb it. Oh, there's a new game, let's try out. Like, kids are mad scientists. Like, I like the way kids do stuff, because they don't even question. Like, they'll ask questions, but before they even ask a question, they've already tried out something. Like, they'd rather hurt themselves while trying than just sit down and not enjoy life. And I guess because of the way once we start growing and we encounter all these challenges in life, we meet people from all over the world. I would say, like, from all over, who are always telling us what to do, who are trying to control our thoughts, who are trying to conform our minds and thoughts into their own way of thinking, or into like a systematic way of thinking. That actually kills our creativity. That actually kills our I would say, like, our curiosity. We stop dreaming. We stop aspiring to do great things. We stop aspiring to be better. But I can tell you this for a fact: it's never too late. You can still start from where you are. You can still start today and reactivate your dream. You can still start today and reactivate your purpose, your passion, and accomplish so much. Because the most important thing is the step that you're going to take today. Always remember that. Like, whatever you decide to do today, is gonna dictate how your future is gonna be. Always remember, the best time you have is now. If you're gonna do anything, you have to start it now. If you doubt yourself, if you don't feel like you're capable of accomplishing anything, just remind yourself that tomorrow is never promised. Like, when you wake up, you have 24 hours and you can plan accordingly, even though you have like a job that you have to attend to, even though you have classes to attend to. Try and cheap out some time for yourself to be able to search your soul, like be able to ignite that fire of accomplishing your goals and desires. Once you figure that out, once you come up with a plan for that, it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be great. There's nothing that gives you the fulfillment than being able to accomplish what you were called for, what you came into this world to accomplish. The only thing I feel like sometimes that kind of like holds us back from discovering our purpose and vision is we've grown up in a society where all we want to do is be copycats. Like, when you see someone doing something, we want to do what they're doing. Like, we no longer want to be trailblazers. We no longer want to set out into the world to discover what's really going on. We are no longer curious. And I think it all comes with the age, because when we were young, we would try out anything. Like, we were like, yeah, oh, there's a tree, let's go climb it. Oh, there's a new game, let's try out. Like, kids are mad scientists. Like, I like the way kids do stuff because they don't even question. Like, they'll ask questions, but before they even ask a question, they've already tried out something. Like, they'd rather hurt themselves while trying than just sit down and not enjoy life. And I guess because of the way once we start growing and we encounter all these challenges in life, we meet people from all over the world. I would say, like, from all over, who are always telling us what to do, who are trying to control our thoughts, who are trying to conform our minds and thoughts into their own way of thinking, or into like a systematic way of thinking. That actually kills our creativity. That actually kills our I would say, like, our curiosity. We stop dreaming. We stop aspiring to do great things. We stop aspiring to be better. But I can tell you this for a fact: it's never too late. You can still start from where you are. You can still start today and reactivate your dream. You can still start today and reactivate your purpose, your passion, and accomplish so much. Because the most important thing is the step that you're going to take today. Always remember that. Like, whatever you decide to do today is going to dictate how your future is going to be. Always remember, the best time you have is now. If you're going to do anything, you have to start it now. If you doubt yourself, if you don't feel like you're capable of accomplishing anything, just remind yourself that tomorrow is never promised. Like, when you wake up, you have 24 hours and you can plan accordingly, even though you have like a job that you have to attend to, even though you have classes to attend to. Try and cheap out some time for yourself to be able to search your soul, like be able to ignite that fire of accomplishing your goals and desires. Once you figure that out, once you come up with a plan for that, it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be great. There's nothing that gives you the fulfillment than being able to accomplish what you were called for, what you came into this world to accomplish. So I would say, once you've asked your question, what do I love, or what am I good at, or what does the world need from me, like what am I willing to solve, what's the problem that I think I'm good at solving, you'll be able to be in line with your purpose, or you'll be able to kind of like kickstart a path towards reigniting your vision. And you always have to remember, in the midst of all that, while you're working on that, you'll always face some obstacle. Like, that's just a part of this journey. As human beings, we are prone to overthinking. Like, some people are going to be like, oh, but I don't think this is going to work. I don't think this is for me. I don't think I have the right resources to be able to implement this. I don't think I have the right complexion. I don't think I have the right height. Like, trust me, whenever you're trying to work on you, whenever you're trying to work on your purpose, you're always going to give yourself all these excuses. But what I think is the main I would say, like, obstacle for us is just the fear of the unknown, the fear which doesn't even exist. The acronym itself says it's false information appearing real. We are so used to being in our comfort zone. We are so used to being in our comfort area that we don't want to step out. We don't want to step out into the unknown and experience what's out there waiting for us. So I always say, stop procrastinating. Don't overthink it. Don't put yourself down. Like, don't try to please everyone. Don't be scared. If anything, at least do it while you're scared, and trust me, you'll be able to overcome it. Push yourself. Like, everything you want, like they always say, is on the other side of your comfort zone. Like, all the great things you want in life, all the accomplishments that you want to accomplish in life, the cars, the fine life, the different lifestyles, the nice houses, like everything, the big bank accounts, because everybody has a different aspect of what they actually want to accomplish in life. Some people want to build wealth, some people want to travel, some people want to make memories with their family and friends. Like, we all have different things that actually ignite us to keep moving, keep pushing. So whatever you value or whatever you want to become is on the other side of the comfort zone. Like, you have to step up. You have to step out of your comfort zone and chase your dream. You have to step out of your comfort zone and be fearless in pursuit of your dream. Always remember that. So I just wanted to touch base with you today and remind you that you can reignite your dream, you can reignite your vision, but you have to use the different keys to do that. So let's stop overthinking, let's stop procrastinating, let's stop having self-doubt, let's have some faith in us, let's be fearless. Like I said, be a doubt killer. Whenever procrastination and doubt tries to come into your lane or into your mind, kill it with optimism, kill it with creativity, kill it at least by accomplishing at least one deed that's geared towards rediscovering yourself, that's geared towards you building yourself, that's geared towards rediscovering your dream. It's not gonna be hard if you at least make one step at a time. So be encouraged. If you study the greats, if you study all the greats, like from the athletes to the musicians, they all doubted themselves. The funniest part is, even the greatest people that you see out there, the people that you see accomplishing all these great things, they are always doing it scared. Some of them still doubt themselves even after accomplishing so much. So you don't have to be perfect to accomplish this. You don't have to be perfect to become great. All you need to do is do something. Like Nike says, just do it. If you're thinking about it, just do it. Don't overthink it. My friend used to tell me, when you think long, you think wrong. So stop thinking long. Stop overthinking. Think less and act more. That's what I'm going to tell you today. So for you to activate your vision, you have to think less and act more. You have to put in the work. You have to wake up and go go to the gym even when you don't feel like doing it. You have to wake up and work on your small business even when you don't feel like doing it. You have to wake up and kind of like post your products online even when you don't feel like doing it. You have to wake up and still create new collections for your cloth line even when customers have not even bought the first collection. Like, you have to reinvent, you have to pivot, you have to come up with different concepts every day, because the person that you were yesterday is not the person that you're gonna be the next minute or tomorrow. Don't live in the past. Don't live in all the bad things. Like, you know how we always like, oh, but you know, when I remember the last time I went here, this happened to me. Like, why do we always want to live in our past? Why can't we live in the moment? Why can't we live in the present and experience the blessing that we have? The name itself says it. Like, we every morning when we wake up, we are handed a gift, which is the present day that we have. So we should be happy. We should enjoy every single moment of it, because we know we have relatives, we have friends, we have great people that we know who are no longer with us. But the best part about it is when they had the chance, they accomplished every single thing that they wanted to. They put in the work. They worked hard. They exercised for those who were in athletics. They perfected their craft for those who were like artists, hitting the gym, writing the rhymes, spending time in the studio, crafting the music, spending time in the libraries, working hard for their PhD, spending time in college, working hard for their doctorate degree and all that. Like, whatever you are passionate about, you gotta be willing to sacrifice your time and energy. You gotta be willing to be disciplined, to work on your craft. Because that's one thing that most of us are lacking. I'm not perfect. Like, I'm a procrastinator sometimes, but I'm always trying to push myself to become better. I always try to push myself to become great every single day. One thing I always challenge myself is to not settle. Not to settle in my comfort zone, but to always push myself. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm here talking to you. That's why I have to make sure that every week I step in and show up and create an episode so that we can impact each other's life, so that we can spend this moment encouraging each other and reminding ourselves that we are gonna make it. We are not gonna settle for less, because you're meant for greatness. Like I said, it's your hope. It's the hope dealer, the doubt killer, OG Joe. And this is Ownership and Greatness. Don't settle for less. You're meant for greatness. Thank you once again for listening. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review on your favorite apps, and until next time, peace.